Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, then please do not continue to listen until after you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea podcast. Happy Thanksgiving.
Almost
Sort of.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, this is coming out the day before Thanksgiving, so hope you guys are staying safe and made all the necessary preparations. This is going to be a weird one, I feel like, this year.
And honestly, if you don't feel safe seeing your family, there is no problem with that. I mean, I know Dr. Fauci said that he's not seeing his family, and I'm about 99% sure I'm not going to see mine, so.
I'm seeing certain members of my family, but not the bulk of them.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to try to keep it, from what I hope, and from what I understand, with everything going on, I think it's just going to be like immediate family that we've been around here and there anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And I do know that for some people, specifically thinking of those who are of Native American descent, that this is a difficult time, and I just want you to know that I recognize that this is a difficult time. I don't necessarily agree with the history of Thanksgiving. I essentially use it as an opportunity to be with my family, and, despite these potentially, tough parts of the season, I hope that you're able to find a way to be with your family as well.
Yeah, ours, it's not so much for our family about the history or anything. It's about togetherness, being with family and being with each other in each other's lives, seeing what all's going on in each other's lives, if there's anything we can help with or need to talk about or just want to feel close. Plus, there's amazing food. Never hurts to have amazing food.
See, I know you told me that Thanksgiving is your second favorite holiday, but
because of the food.
It's honestly kind of my least favorite. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't like the idea of being stuffed in a meal. What gives me fond memories is just seeing my family, because I don't see all of them together very often. So that's
it's not so much being stuffed. It's just there are certain things that my family makes only for Thanksgiving.
But see, they don't have to, though. That's just teasing.
But it's what happens.
Yeah.
But it's what happens. So it kind of makes it special because you only get it around this time of year. Yeah. But it's my family's just when it comes to food.
Well, I know
family's got it down.
Thanksgiving aside, I think it's really cool to have ongoing traditions for any holiday.
Yeah.
Whether it be, not a very common holiday or one of the more popular ones. And what I really want to, it'd be really cool to create a unique tradition for a popular holiday.
Yeah.
That would be pretty fun.
I think we need to institute a Friendsgiving once the pandemic is over.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice. Though I don't think you want to trust my cooking. You already have experience with it.
No. But I can have you bring some of the things that don't require cooking.
Yes.
Which is fine. It can be me and V. It's fine.
Yeah, you and V, you're the talent, and I just hope people don't die from my cooking. That's
She's
my positive. That's my positive review. If people don't die from my cooking, then it's a win.
What, did you die? No, she's our gopher, guys. If we need something, if we run out of something, we send her to the store. Stay out of our kitchen. Hey, handle the music while we're cooking, would
you? And I got good taste in
music.
Keep
the drinks full. We're good.
Oh man, yeah. Yep, it's great. But anyway, so on a sort of Thanksgiving-related movie, we decided to do Kristy.
This is like the closest we could find, guys.
Yeah, so, but before we go into the summary, let's move on to tea. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I am once again drinking Brutalities loose leaf tea, and it is their Back in Blackberry, because I need caffeine.
I feel bad, and I was trying to hurry to get the tea together so we could record. And so I did not get a Brutalities, and I feel bad because you gave me all of these sample teas and I haven't really broken into them. I will, though. I will. I need to plan for it. I need like an extra 10 to 15 minutes so I can just make it perfect. But anyways, I am still drinking from my new favorite kitty cup, but I'm drinking the Numi Gunpowder green tea. I was kind of tempted to do the Earl Grey, but I'm just feeling green tea today. But off to the summary.
Yes.
So the whole reason why we chose Kristy for the week of Thanksgiving is because the main character goes to this college, and it is about to be Thanksgiving week. And
it's their fall break.
Yeah. And so her boyfriend is going off to see his family, and he offers to have her go along. She essentially told him that his family is super judgmental, and she didn't want to be a part of that toxic environment. And then she couldn't go see her family because it was a lot of money for a plane ticket, and she just couldn't see the expense being reasonable.
She's a scholarship student. The prices were being hiked up because it's the holiday season.
Yeah.
And she just didn't want to have to go through all of that.
Yeah. And she definitely is living the tough college life because she's a dishwasher in addition to going to college, and it's obvious that she's trying to get financial aid, so she is definitely working her through.
She's doing work studies and everything, so it's
heavy load.
Yep.
But anyways, so kind of the initial plan for her in the movie was she was going to spend Thanksgiving with her dorm mate. Yeah, dorm mate. Mm-hmm. But her dorm mate's father had a surprise family get together, and her friend even offered I can buy you a plane ticket and we can go together, but I don't know if she just didn't want to be a burden or what, but she opted not to go.
She seemed uncomfortable with the idea of someone buying a ticket for her, especially at those prices, and her friend mentioned that it was in Aspen, which is pretty high class kind of area.
Yeah.
So she would probably feel out of place or uncomfortable because it would all be on the friend.
Yeah.
To pay for everything.
Yeah. So the movie just goes through her just in the dorm area by herself, and that's actually a pretty entertaining part of the movie. But anyway, so she goes to a convenience store to pick up some items for her and the security guard who she's made buddies with. And there is a very strange and creepy and rude girl. And come to find out, that girl is a part of a cult. And because Justine, the main character, just so happens to be borrowing her friend's car, who is rich, the person's like, oh, well, she's pretty. She seems to be pretty well off in life, all of this. And so in their whole cult, they're like, oh, Kristy means you're a follower of Christ. And so in order to kill God, we have to kill Kristy. We'll talk about that later.
The logic isn't all there.
But anyways, so she just drives home, and the cult member brings herself and, is it 3 dudes? Yeah, it's 3 dudes.
It's like 3 or 4. We'll get to the kill count later.
Yeah. But anyway, so they're just trying to kill her throughout the movie. It's just your regular, like, almost like strangers type of movie. But I like the twist in Kristy ends up fighting back after a bit.
Yeah. I feel like it's closer to Your Next.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. But anyways, I think I've said enough on the summary. I just wanted to give at least a little bit more fleshed out of a summary because it is a straightforward background, but it's kind of nice to know like why they're targeting her, and they're falsely targeting her. But anyways, entertainment. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I enjoyed this movie. I like that she fights back. She does have a lot of smart moves. And she has some where she kind of fell a little short. But on the whole, I feel like she did a really good job. She actually got through with minimal injuries, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case and not the norm at all. In most of these movies, she, for the most part, just got a few scratches. And, massive psychological damage. So, I mean...
All of the wounds were internal.
So, I would give this probably... I don't know, I want to give it a 7, but I can't. I feel like it's a solid 6. Maybe a tentative 6.5. But it's a good movie. It's not one that particularly stands out. And it's definitely not one that's like a must watch every year around this time or anything, but it's definitely a good one to see.
Yeah, I agree. I hadn't heard of this movie before we watched it today, and after watching it, it's definitely a 6 for me too. The main points down is the fact that the logic of the killing was pretty fallible and very fallible.
They didn't do their research. Like, they never do the research.
And then some of the killings just seemed kind of pointless. Like, they're just trying to make it as bloody and kill heavy of a movie as possible whenever they're just targeting the one person. But I love the movies where the main character fights back and is actually being really smart about it. Like, I believed her to be an intelligent character in this case. Like, there wasn't really anything in particular that she did that was like, wow, that was really stupid and you should have died for that type of thing.
Which we appreciate.
Yes.
Because we see that a lot.
Yeah, especially
and we yell
in these
at
types
it a
of
lot.
movies. Yeah, yeah. So that was really refreshing. But yeah, because the reasoning behind the killing and then the bad guys themselves weren't particularly unique. There's mass.
I think that was kind of the point, was that they're fairly anonymous.
Well, what I mean by that is there's so many movies with masked killers. Like, they just so happen to be a part of a cult, which, isn't necessarily
that makes
unique.
No sense.
Yes, yeah. So it was just not a very good foundation for the movie. But the movie itself, like, great intensity. Mm-hmm. They did have a few jump scares, but it wasn't so over the top that I didn't ever find them completely unnecessary. They worked for the scene. Yeah. And
they didn't overload the movie with them.
Yes.
They focused more on the suspense and the action of it versus jump scares, which is nice.
Yes, and they did very much explain why she is having trouble getting in contact with the police. Like, she is very obvious multiple times they cut the line. Or whenever she finally gets a hold of a cell phone, you see that the network was blocked. So that was pretty nice, because I feel like that is the most flawed part of more current horror movies, is they're like, oh, all of this stuff is happening, but they have a cell phone, so they could have just called the police. And then at least they were like, nope, we're going to bite that in the bud.
Yeah, there's like valid reasons why.
Yeah.
Like, she was not able to get to her cell phone at first because they got her out of the room. I don't know why it's not attached to her, as most of us have ours attached to ours.
Yeah, it came out in 2014. I mean, it was that time. But whatever.
Everyone's different. I know there are some people out there that are still like, I hate my cell phone, and they don't want to be around it ever. But most of us, especially those around in like college age and all, they have their cell phones glued to them.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah. So it was a little odd, but you could tell that there was no way she was able to use hers. Like, there were valid reasons why. Yeah. And when she did use the maintenance guy's, Scott's cell phone, they had hijacked the signal. And instead of her calling 911 like she thought she was, it actually went to one of their phones instead.
Yeah.
So, and then they blocked the network altogether when they hung up on her. So,
yeah. So definitely, I think it's worth at least one watch. And I mean, these honestly aren't my type of movie, so the fact that I enjoyed it, I mean, that does say something. But yeah. It's interesting that we both have the same rating too, though.
Yeah. I mean, it is a good movie. I think one of the biggest parts is there's not a whole lot of annoying people in it.
Oh God.
Like, with these types of movies, you and I are always like, they can go first, please. And there was one that we were both like,
the stone guy.
Can he go first? No, the guy that was scraping his knife on everything.
Oh, you're saying, yeah.
Oh my God, kill him first, please.
Especially when you're wearing headphones and you're watching a movie and you just hear, like, oh, it's so ear-piercing.
Not, though.
And he does it multiple times in the movie.
I get that you're trying to be the creepy serial killer dude, and hype up their adrenaline and make them really, really scared that you have a weapon and you're using it on everything incorrectly. But you're using it incorrectly and it's just annoying at this point. It's not scary. Yeah. I just want to take it from you and use it against you.
Yeah.
Repeatedly. To the ears. Like you're doing to us with the sound.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I do feel like the movie was pretty focused. Like it knew exactly where it wanted to go. And then it twisted right in the right moments and stuff like that. Definitely the biggest flaw, I'm not going to harp on it anymore after this, I promise. But the biggest flaw is the foundation of the whole reason why they're killing. Because I'm sorry, but if you want to kill God, killing his followers or so-called
someone you
followers,
deem to be his follower.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry. People with no faith can be, in that type of position too.
Yeah.
I mean, just they just
the way they describe it. They do describe it in the movie, like the profile that they fit and everything, but she's not.
Well, and then there's
in that profile group, they just assumed she was.
I know. And then plus, like, there's people that aren't in that profile group that are followers of God. So
yeah.
I just don't understand it at all.
And that's why I was saying, like, the cult itself, they're not all there. Like, it doesn't make that much sense.
Yeah.
But I did also take off a couple of points because they killed the dog.
That's fair. And that was I'm so glad they don't show the dog, but hearing the noises like that.
That was heartbreaking.
That was
You don't even know the dog that well.
I know.
He was only in there for a couple minutes. But he was this cute Rottweiler, and I think all dogs are cute. But
it's like, what makes this so bad is it's not the quick, like, yelp and then done. It's like they draw it out, and it's just, it makes you hate them even more.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if anything, it makes you, like, then happy whenever she kills them later in the movie. You're like, yes! And can we just talk about her kills are so brutal? That's why you don't mess with women's boyfriends. Like,
they're inspired, and I love it. I'm a little annoyed at how long it took her, but maybe she just has a stronger moral compass than I do, I guess.
Well, I think probably what happened, and this is just my thought, is she was trying all of these different avenues to completely escape. Yeah. And then now she finally doesn't really have a way to escape. She felt cornered, and then they killed someone extremely close to her, her boyfriend. And so that would just be a breaking point. It's like, okay, so I can't really get away from you, so I'm just gonna kill you now. So you don't kill me.
It takes her a sad amount of time to even attempt to grab a weapon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like you had several opportunities to grab something.
Yeah.
That you can keep on you even when you're running. Just something that you have. Just in case you run into one and can't get away.
Yeah, because it's at least some level of protection. Yes. It's better than nothing.
Exactly. So that was a little obnoxious. And I get, again, different personality types. She seemed far more the lawful good type, the more passive type.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm gonna find a weapon right off the bat. While I'm trying to find a way to get out of the situation. But if they get in my way, I'm a cut a bitch.
See, I don't know what I would do. Like, I would assume I would fight tooth and nail, but, you know, it's so hard for me to judge.
I don't know.
Because some people say that they'll do one thing, but then when they're actually in that situation, they do a complete opposite. Like, adrenaline messes with you so much. It can change
the fight or flight responses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if someone had killed one of the ones that I love, I gotta say, their deaths would have been a lot slower and a lot more painful.
Oh, your smile is
just saying.
Creeping me out. Yep.
Just saying.
Yep.
But otherwise, she did a good job, though. So, especially with the bat. Can we talk about the bat?
Yes. Well, first, like, her going underwater, that was a pretty interesting and cool idea. And I'm glad that it wasn't like she fucking hopped in and hoped for the best. Like, she was, you know, she
was quiet about it.
She swims all the time, so she's very aware of, like, how to, like, get in the water without making much noise. And even whenever she went back up for air, like, she was extremely gentle about it.
And she didn't, like, gasp out when she got up there either.
Yeah. I guess my only critique in that scene, though, is, like, after she kills the one guy under the water, whenever she pops up, she gasps out. I'm like, well, what if another one had come in while she was doing that?
What if they were using the buddy system?
Yeah, like, you don't know. So that was a little bit like, probably not a good idea.
Yeah. A little bit, but I love how she was able to use his own weapon against him.
Yeah.
And instead of just drowning him, she was smart about it and, like, used it as leverage so that she could get her knee in a good position to break his spine. So,
yep.
That was awesome. Then she took it a step further, and she was one of the smart ones and took the weapon with her.
Yes.
Instead of leaving it there, she took it with her.
And she made it better.
Thank you.
She upgraded it.
And then she went zombie apocalypse on it and added nails to the bat and used it on the next one.
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah, that was freaking smart. Though I do kind of want to wonder why those items were in the bathroom, but...
No, they were in the maintenance area of the fitness center.
Okay, I thought she went in the bathroom and then she found it in, like, a storage closet. Okay.
No, she went to the bathroom after she had modified her bat.
Oh, okay. I was just confusing the areas. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's easy to confuse the areas when the walls all look like a prison.
Yeah, all of the walls look the same, and
it's just that painted over brick.
Yeah.
So it's easy to lose your bearings there. But she did well. She used the environment to her advantage with the pool and even the kitchen, setting off the steam vent and then knocking some pans together as she passed, just to draw them away from where she was heading.
And then the phone alarm too in the library.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, she set a timer on the phone to go off and then slid it down one of the aisles so that when it went off, she could go a different direction, and it drew them to that area instead. Mm-hmm. So very well done. They were a little stupid in following every sound ever.
Yeah, you would have
assuming she would still be there.
Learned, yeah.
But
it's like they were smart in some areas and then stupid in others. When it came down to like physically chasing her, they weren't that smart. But then when it came to like trying to prevent her from calling for help, then they were smart. So
yeah, the guard wasn't that bright either.
Nope.
They had blocked off the door with a crowbar from the outside, and he kept like trying to open the door and told her to open the door when there's clearly a crowbar on your side of the door. Gee, I hadn't thought of that. Maybe remove the bar.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and move to realism.
Yeah, this will be interesting. All right, so for realism, this one's going to be pretty low for me. It's like some of it does seem plausible, but then it just falls apart so easily. Oh, man, I'm like struggling between a 2 or a 3. I'm kind of leaning toward the 2.
I would rate it a little bit higher. The biggest parts that falls apart for me is, I mean, the cult itself, of course, they're stupid and make no sense. But even if that was the situation, there would have been more people on that campus. There would have been more students, at the very least, but there would have been more than just 2 security guards. It did seem like a smaller college, but if you have dorms and multiple buildings and all, there would have been a lot more people available than just the maintenance and 2 guards and 1 student.
Yeah.
Out of that entire student body, 1 student is staying over the holidays. I'm calling bull on that.
So, yeah, because that 2 is pretty low. Okay,
I would give it like a 4, maybe a hesitant 5. Because, I mean, none of the death scenes were really unrealistic or anything. They did a good job with those.
Yeah, okay. I rescind my previous rating. And I instate a new rating of 4. I think 4. I am not going to go with the 5, though. That's just too much for me, but I will go with the 4.
Fair. I do think a lot of the situation could have been avoided altogether if instead of on the road back to the campus after the convenience store, when they were stopped in the road, if she had turned around and gone back to a well-lit public place and called someone, namely PD.
Or even before that, when she's at the gas station, like, I've done things like this too, where it's like, if someone's being shady and they leave, I will wait in the store, like, pretend to talk to the clerk, or just, like, kind of walk around, go to the bathroom, just hang out for, like, 10, 15 minutes, make sure that they've driven off, give it, like, another 5 to 10 minutes, and then, drive.
Yeah. And, again, if they were still on that road, go back.
Yes. That means they're
go
waiting
back.
for you.
Yes. Go back, go to a well-lit public place, and call someone. If nothing else, I mean, just tell PD what happened. Say, I don't feel comfortable and safe going back to my campus on my own, security or not. Like, if someone could just go with me, like drive behind me, in front of me, whatever, just to make sure I make it there okay, that would be fine. Just something to have on record showing I tried not to get in this situation. Yeah. And if they still made it on campus, which didn't seem that secure, let's be honest, to begin with, then, well, they're asking for it at that point.
Yeah. Though, like...
Security was a little lax, though, at that campus, let's be honest.
Yeah, but to be fair, all of the colleges that I've been on the campus for, they don't really seem to have a lot. I mean, all of the colleges that I've been to, even private colleges, didn't even have a security gate, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
it's not much of a security gate, I feel like.
No,
you could walk around the security gate.
I think it's just to monitor like who's driving in and who's driving out, rather than to actually be secure. But it was kind of curious how many doors she had access to. Like
she had the keys.
Yeah.
She took the keys from the maintenance guy.
Oh, okay.
Those were the keys that he was telling her to grab off the table.
Okay, it's all coming together. Never mind.
Pay attention.
I did, but yeah, it just, yeah. Well.
Yeah, certain things in this movie you could miss if you're not watching very closely or listening very closely. So it's, at first it almost sounds like it's keys to like a vehicle or something, but there are way too many keys on that ring.
Yeah, that's what I initially thought. I thought that's why he was, but okay, that makes more sense.
No, he was the maintenance guy, and he had the keys to everywhere. So she was using his keys to get in the different doors.
I will say that for someone being stoned, he did a pretty well. It kind of depends on like how much THC was in that batch, but because if it was less THC and more just like the CBD, then okay, he might be able to handle the situation decently well because he'd be able to stay calm and think it through before like moving on. But if he's like high, then I'm impressed that he did as well as he did.
Well, I'm sure the adrenaline helped a little too. But,
I guess that's fair.
But he was kind of dumb starting to walk out of the door.
Yeah, don't stand outside with a shotgun. Just hunker down, and then if they break through, at least you got like a part. Yeah. You have an area where you can like shoot
and it's
them.
A lot easier for that Rottweiler to get him too.
Yes. So that was very stupid, and honestly, I feel like they probably would have been okay if they hunkered down and just shot them, because it's only like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, but he wasn't thinking straight, obviously. So, you know.
I mean, and we can't tell if he would have done the same thing if he hadn't been stoned.
We didn't see him until she ran up to his door and started.
That was really funny though, because he's over here panicking, and he's like, "You're gonna have to say that really slow," because I was just like, "Are you serious?"
At least he was honest. His home was a fire hazard, though. How many candles he had going.
And she almost knocked one over. My heart stopped. I was like, no.
Also, her boyfriend doesn't listen.
No.
Like, she's clearly distressed and is telling him repeatedly, "We need to go. Come on."
He's like, what? What's going on? Yeah, that's the one thing. It was definitely a huge horror movie trope where, you know, the victim or main character is like screaming for help, and the boyfriend was just like, huh? Tell me what's going on. And then slowly walking towards her, and then he gets stabbed. Like, really?
Also, awareness fail.
Yeah, like, not quite as bad as Nightmare on Elm Street type of, like, not listening, but, like I understand. He didn't know how dangerous of a situation it is, but it's like, read the room.
She's bleeding on her face. She's, like, drenched.
Hysterical, yeah.
Hysterical, telling you, we need to go.
Like, something's going down, and you're in danger. And even even if it wasn't like someone trying to kill them, like maybe she got super hurt. Well, you would still want to act really fast to get her in the car to get her to go to a hospital. Like either way, no matter what the situation is.
I was starting to wonder if he was the stoned one, honestly.
But it's like any situation, regardless on whether it's someone trying to kill you or you got injured or whatever, if someone is panicking, you need to address that. And, as he's driving away, he could have asked what was going on. It's just...
Get the story later. Get out now.
Yeah. I hate that.
But again, awareness fail. He didn't see someone running up on him or hear them at all. Come on, dude.
Well, I do kind of wonder if it's like the moonwalking bear video, where it's like you're paying attention so much to something happening that everything else, it's just kind of like tunnel vision.
Yeah, probably.
And especially since he didn't realize that he needed to be on high alert. Like, I would imagine that if you're panicked and your adrenaline is rushing, then maybe it'd be a little bit easier to be aware of your... I don't know. I
don't know. I also didn't understand... He was running after the chick in the hoodie. Creepy, rude chick. Mm-hmm. And then when she stopped, and then he heard his girlfriend... Why didn't he just leave? Why did he keep asking, who are you? What are you doing here? Like, who cares at that point? This is not the one you are looking for.
Yeah.
Move along.
Yeah. He was something.
A little bit, yeah. He's not the sharpest tool, I feel like.
Nope. But
he was pretty, but he was not the sharpest tool in the shed.
He was vaguely pretty.
It was alright. Not exactly my type, but
he kind of looked like a frat boy, I guess.
Yes and no. He didn't quite fit the cliche of the frat boy.
I guess he wasn't quite as clean looking. He looked a little bit more like messy, but he's
a little
still had. I mean, it was pretty apparent that his parents were the one that sent him to the college, so he was definitely still very well to do, probably. So, but
yeah.
Well, I don't really have anything else to add that I can think of. How about you?
Not really. If you haven't seen this movie, guys, it is worth a watch for sure. At least one watch. I noticed a couple of things after watching it. For this was I think my 4th time watching it. So it's one that I would put on here and there. It's not one that I would like actively seek out, especially yearly. It's not like a traditional kind of movie where I must see it every year around this time.
Yeah. But
it is one it's worth a watch for sure.
Yeah. I found it pretty entertaining. And there are a few moments of frustration, but it's not frustrating like some of the other movies where you're like screaming at the screen. You're like, come on, why are you doing this?
It's not filled to the brim with stupidity.
Yeah.
Which is refreshing, to say the least.
Yes.
But it is definitely worth a watch. So if you haven't seen it already, go watch it. It's not gonna like scare the wits out of you or anything. It's a very intense movie.
Yeah.
But it's not like gotta sleep with the lights on after kind of movie. Also, on another note, guys, we are close to 100 followers. We would like to reach that goal, preferably by our 1-year anniversary mark, which is in February.
Yes, our goal... We'll be posting about it, but our goal is to hit 100 followers, but that's for each and every social media. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hopefully YouTube, but not quite as hopeful on YouTube. But if you guys are on any of those social medias, if you can follow us on all of those or your favorite one, and then also share it, and let other people know about us, that would really help with spreading the word. And anything that you do to help spread the word, we would absolutely greatly appreciate.
Yes. Absolutely. Also, if we hit 100 followers on Facebook,
oh no,
then Alyssa has to watch a movie that has scared the crap out of her since she was a kid.
Yep.
And I get to laugh the entire time.
Because it's supposed to be a comedy. But it's not.
So she will have to watch Mars Attacks. Which I don't understand how it scares her even to this day. But I really look forward to watching that with her, guys. Please help me reach this.
Oh.
We might even do a watch party like we did with Arachnophobia, where you guys got to watch me freak out over everything. That way y'all can laugh at her too.
Yay.
So go like and follow us, please. Share it with your friends, and we'll make it happen. Until then, guys, y'all stay safe. Please, please, please stay safe for this holiday season, and stay spooky.
Bye, guys.
Bye.